Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this Myofascial Release Series number 6 for our glutes, our IT band, and our hip flexors. So you'll need a tennis ball today, and we're going to begin seated on the mat. So using the tennis ball, lift your right hip up and place the tennis ball right at the largest part of your glute. And you can lean back on your hands, straighten your right leg, bend your left knee, and just let the weight of your body relax over the ball. You can find some movement left to right over the ball. Notice how that feels. You can find whatever variation works best for you. And then you might drop your left knee across your right thigh, lifting your left hip up a little bit. If your wrists complain, you might lay down and do this laying down just as easily. Right leg is straight, ball under the right glute, left knee still bent, left foot flat on the mat. And you might bend your arms so you can sort of find a little more ease of movement by pressing into your elbows or upper arms. And again, you might move your hips a little side to side. You might lift your left hip up, bringing more weight over the ball, and maybe just relax there. Relaxing over the ball. Just finding a good spot that feels best to you. So we're releasing a lot of that dense fascia, the dense connective tissue. And it's always important to drink water afterwards. And then remove the ball. Pause for a moment. Notice how you feel. So now we're going to get into the IT band area. So if you're laying down, you can stay there and keep your hips down, but place the ball right to the outside of your right hip. And then let your knees just sort of drop over to the right until you feel some pressure on that outer right hip. So adjust the ball as you would like. You can move it until you feel you're in a good spot. So we're not rolling over the ball here. We're just relaxing our weight slightly over the ball. And then lift your knees up and we'll move the ball a little bit more towards the mid outer thigh. You might need to bring your knees in a different position there so it feels comfortable to you. Adjust the ball as you need to. And again, just allowing the weight of your legs over the ball. Relax here. And then move the ball again, one more time towards the lower outer thigh. Bringing your weight of your legs over the ball. Again, find the position that feels best to you. Might need to readjust where that top leg is so it's comfortable for you. And then remove the ball. Readjust your spine so you feel even. Pause. And then we're going to do the left hip. So the left glute, place the ball right under the middle part of your glute. Left leg is straight, right knee is bent. And like before, you can find a little movement over the ball. You can stay laying down, or if you prefer, you can come up to a seat and just support yourself with your hands. So again, any movement here that feels good, moving left to right, or just finding a good spot and relaxing over the ball. You might have to readjust the position of the ball slightly. And then you might bring that right knee across the left thigh, lifting your right hip up, bringing a little more pressure onto the ball. Bring a little bit more towards the left side of the glute there. Breathe here. You might notice any differences between left and right. Any movement that feels good, adjusting as you need to. And then remove the tennis ball and we'll do the outer IT band. So we'll do the outer IT band, bringing your knees to the left, a little weight over the ball. Reposition the ball as it feels good to you. Just letting your legs relax over the ball. Breathe here. And then move the ball down the outer thigh, letting your legs relax over the ball. And then move the ball down the outer thigh. Reposition your legs so it feels comfortable to you. You might bend the top knee and leg a little bit, bringing more weight over the ball. And then coming back to center. Pause here. And then slowly press yourself back up to a seat. And we're going to use the tennis ball now at our hip flexors, right at that front part of the hip. So right there at the front of the hip. So from here, I'm going to lay on the ball. So come onto your belly and place the tennis ball right at the right hip flexor. Lay over the ball. Support your head with your hands, just resting your forehead on the back of your hands. But you might slowly bend and straighten that right leg. Notice how that feels. If that's too intense, just keep your right leg relaxed. And just keep your left leg relaxed. And then just relax over the ball. Notice sensation. Invite your body to be heavy and relaxed. And then press yourself up off the ball. Pause. And then we'll do the other side. So reposition the ball under the left hip flexor. And again, stack your hands, rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Relax over the ball. Slowly bend and straighten your left leg. And again, you can also just relax here over the ball. Notice sensation. Notice if one side feels any different than the other. And invite this area to begin to relax and release. And then slowly press yourself up off the ball. Pause, notice sensation. Set the ball aside and then lay down on your mat. Come into constructive rest, feet about hip distance apart, ankles just about in line with your knees, And press into your feet to lift your hips and come into bridge pose. Lengthen your lower back towards your knees. You might bend your arms, pressing into your upper arms and elbows, fingers towards the sky. Breathe here. And then when you're ready, you can lower your hips back down to the mat. And then from here, cross one ankle over the opposite thigh and draw that knee or thigh towards you to get a stretch into the outer hip. I'm starting with my easier side, my left side, but you can start with whichever side you would like. Coming into this figure 4 hip stretch. And of course, find your variation. And then release, uncross that ankle, and cross the other ankle over the opposite thigh. Again, coming into your figure 4 hip stretch on the other side. Maybe noticing the difference between your left and right. Breathe here. A few more breaths. And then thoughtfully release, uncross that ankle, and pause. Draw your knees in towards each armpit, getting a nice stretch into the lower back. And then release. And then you might want to reach for a block, placing a block in between your feet and then moving the block away. Coming into a supine Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. Having your feet on the block helps the low back have a little bit more space. And just relax here. Inviting a gentle opening into your hips. If this feels too much, you can always take your feet off the block and use a block under each knee to support your legs. And then draw your knees in towards your chest once more, maybe a supine twist to each side. And then slowly, when you're ready, make your way back up to a seat and pause. Notice sensation. So from table pose, you might tuck your toes and find a downward dog. This might feel really nice into the legs and shoulders and upper back. Just a little down dog, little movement, lifting the heels if you would like. And then thoughtfully lower down and come to a seat and pause. Notice how you feel. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Remember to drink your water. And I look forward to seeing you for our next Myofascial Release series. Until then, have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.